Okay, let's begin. Now we have all the camera people. Thank you. We almost started without you. Sorry about that. I'm Lucy Birmingham, the president of the Foreign Correspondents Club of Japan. We're very pleased to have as our guest today the well-known scholar turned politician, Mr. Yoichi Masuzoe. Masuzoe-san spoke here in January as a candidate for the Tokyo gubernatorial race. Now he's back as governor after a short but dramatic race. Yes, congratulations. So he's here today to talk about Tokyo. He's been quoted as saying he wants to make this the best city in the world, and he wants the Tokyo's 2020 Olympics and Paralympics to be the best in history. So let's hear his plans for realizing that in French, English, and Japanese. No? He's trilingual. So please welcome Yoichi Masuzoe.
どうもありがとうございます。Thank you very much for your kind introduction, Lucy Birmingham. And as she said, I was invited here at the end of January as the candidate for the gubernatorial post. And fortunately, I'm with you as the governor of Tokyo. Thank you very much indeed. And today I'd like to, explain about my policies that I'd like to accomplish in 4 years, my tenure. So there are 3 points, 3 major policies. Number one is to make Tokyo the strongest city against the disaster. And number 2 is the welfare city of the world. And number 3 is how to succeed the 2020 Olympic Games. So, first of all, I firmly believe that Tokyo, the capital of Japan, is the source of our country's growth and development, and should be a model for major cities, not only in Japan, but also in the world. But according to recent ranking of the world's major cities announced by a private research institute, this is connected to its Mori building company, Tokyo is resigned to 4th place following London, New York, and Paris. Using the Olympic and Paralympic Games in 6 years' time as a goal to aim for, is to take Tokyo to the top. To do so, I will first focus on making Tokyo the best city in the world in 3 specific areas. As I told you, first, I will work to make Tokyo the world's safest city. March 11 was the 3rd anniversary of the earthquake and tsunami of 2011, and this renewed my awareness of the enormous sacrifices that result from this catastrophe. I was in Shanghai at that day. I was delivering the special speech at university, and I was really shocked that this catastrophic disaster. And it was very, very hard for me to return back to Tokyo the day after this earthquake. So you experience, this catastrophic disaster. Keeping in mind the lessons we learned, I will dedicate myself to transforming Tokyo into a city that can strongly withstand disasters. The main mission of the governor is to protect the lives and the assets of the people, residents of Tokyo. We must thus fully prepare for an earthquake, including one that directly hits the capital. Very soon, some said in 5 years, in 10 years, no one knows. But we have to prepare. So we will first promote seismic renovation of buildings and the removal of utility poles along key roads. Number 2, improve district with close-set wooden houses. In Shitamachi period, so narrow streets and very traditional, tiny wooden houses. And construct roads to stop the spread of the fire. We need a wide road to stop the fire. Number 3, enhance the disaster response capacities of the community, such as the neighborhood associations, Chonaikai, and resident associations. Number 4, encourage residents to stockpile food and water at home to help themselves and each other. Maybe stockpiling of 1 week foods and water. I'll make, now in March I'm really busy to deal with the municipal council, but from the April on, I'll be rather free without the deliberation of the at the council, so that I'll go everywhere in Tokyo just to check which kind of districts are so weak against the earthquake, and also I'd like to show which kind of foods and mineral waters and so forth. And we'll also elevate risk management of capital to that of the world's highest level by fortifying our counter-terrorism systems and other measures. Organization, including the police and the fire department, central government, municipalities, and the private sector will work even closer together. Number 2, second main policy, I will work to make Tokyo the world's best city in terms of welfare. I served as Minister of Welfare, Health, and Social Affairs, so that I would like to change this city the most happiest city of the world. Tokyo's population will begin decreasing after peaking in 2020, the year we host the Olympic and Paralympic Games. Moreover, in 2025, 1 out of 4 Tokyo students will be senior students over 65 years old. I'm now 65 years old. I'm the typical Tokyoite, okay? By combining the 3 strengths of the self-support, you support yourself, and mutual support, resident association, Chonaka, etc., and public support, government will help you. As a last resort, I want to create a Tokyo where everyone can sincerely feel happy that they are born in Tokyo, they are able to live and raise children and continue to work in Tokyo. And nearing the end, when they look back on their lives, they can say that they had a truly fulfilling and happy life in Tokyo. This is my goal. So, for example, number 1, during my 4-year term of office, we will increase the number of daycare services so that there are no longer any children on the waiting list. There are approximately 8,000 children waiting to enter a facility. And number 2, we will apply ingenuity such as using metropolitan-owned land to significantly increase the number of openings at special nursing homes for the aged. Also, as you asked the aged person, children and aged person, we need badly these facilities. Along with this, we will provide the person getting care and his or her family a wide selection of choices by, among others, improving systems for home health care and custody care. Number 3, we will promote a work-life balance and build an environment where both men and women can raise children or care for their elderly patrons while working. I said the first day of my work in the Tokyo Metropolitan Government, just return back to home at 6 o'clock. I will do that and never work the weekend. And this is what I said to the officials of Ministry of Health when I was, the minister. I said, well, we need the energy. If you stay your office, this is a waste of money, the electricity and water, everything. So return back home. And so you will work. Why you stay at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock until the night? The efficiency of your work is so bad. So you work very efficiently, then return back to home and dinner with your family and take care of kids in the weekend. This is my goal. Then number 4, we aim for a society where people can enjoy good health their whole lives long. The Olympic and Paralympic Games will be used as an opportunity to make sports more approachable to the citizens of Tokyo. We'll make many, many sports facilities very soon. Now, number 3 goal of my main policies. I'd work to make the Tokyo 2020 Games the world's best ever games. The Tokyo 2020 Games provides a perfect opportunity to change Japan from its center, its capital, Tokyo. I was in Sochi to attend the February 23rd closing ceremony of the Sochi Winter Olympics. Unfortunately, Ukraine situation is such that, as you know, the former scholar of foreign relations, I'm a little bit worried about that. But I met at Sochi with IOC President Thomas Bach, Vice President John Coates, and other executive members of IOC. And along with requesting their cooperation, I promised them that Tokyo will be sure to deliver a safe game. I also had the opportunity to speak directly with many IOC members, and I was able to build a basic confidential relationships of trust. I was also able to feel the problem of not being able to communicate in a language other than Russians. Fortunately, I speak a little bit Russian. Я умею говорить по-русски. But even in the souvenir shops, they can't understand 1, 2, 3. Impossible to buy any souvenirs. But in the Olympic Games, you know, in this site, there are many, many youngsters who can speak in English. The volunteer interpreter. That's good. So I'd like to do the same kind of things in Tokyo. And not only youngsters, but I asked during my electoral campaign to the aged person. They are aged, but they are very, very strong and very healthy, and ask them, the grandmother and grandfather, just to go to the school of English conversation, and I will give some kind of subsidies, and they can learn English, and at least Japanese people of Tokyo can say 1, 2, 3 in Asakusa or in shops, right? And moreover, we advance measures to have signs that are highly visible to foreign tourists, written in multiple languages. An impossible thing is, now it has improved. You stand up before the Diet, our National Assembly, Diet building, 国会議事堂前. In spite of writing National Diet, 国会 in Romaji, it's impossible to understand for the foreigners. So Chinese, Koreans, and the Arabic, for example, and many, many languages. You know, there are many, many barriers for the, the handicapped persons, stairs, etc. But for foreigners who can't understand Japanese, language is one of the biggest barriers. So I'd like to remove this barrier. So this is about the 2020 Olympic Games. And moreover, we have, as I explained this language barrier. So now, precisely speaking about these measures to promote 2020 Olympic Games, number 1, we will steadily advance preparations such as constructing the competition venues and road infrastructures and ensuring the safe management of the games. Number 2, we will promote barrier-free urban development so that not only senior citizens and disabled persons, but everyone can rest assured when moving around the city. Number 3, we will work to remove, as I told you, language barriers that non-Japanese are facing with. In this way, we will apply both hard and soft measures to make the street of Tokyo barrier-free. We will also promote, number 4, we will also promote the introduction of renewable energies, and we will inform the world about Japan's environmental technological and other leading technologies. I'd like to make, for example, the village of these athletes coming from all over the world. This special village, I would like to provide with our own energy. When I said our own, Tokyo people can make solar energy, etc. So without asking to Niigata or without asking to Fukushima, we can provide with our own energies. And also number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Number 5, we would also let the world know about Japanese warm omotenashi, hospitality, and the unique Japanese culture cultivated by our seasonally changing, rich natural environment. In order to make the 2020 Olympics the best in history, I hope to bring together the powers of citizens of Tokyo and Japan. Now, a little bit about economy. We'd like to make our economy the best of the world. This is our ambitious target. The preparation for the Tokyo Games will act as a catalyst for a stronger economy. This will bring to all of Japan, including the Tohoku region, and Japan's economy back on the path to growth. I believe that this is the mission of Tokyo and the capital of Japan. I am closely consulting with Prime Minister Abe how to make our economy again going up. Tokyo has a wealth of superb talent and companies with excellent technologies. We must fully draw upon these potentials. Through the National Strategic Economic Growth Area Program, in Japanese, 国家戦略特区, we will make Tokyo the most business-friendly city in the world. Tokyo will be the engine strongly driving Japanese economy, and change will come to Japan from Tokyo. I had a chance to speak with Prime Minister Abe the other day about this national initiative for specific economic zones. The Prime Minister expressed his strong anticipation toward Tokyo, and that he looks forward to seeing a very substantial proposal. Osaka was one of the, still is one of the candidates, but because of the political trouble, as you know, the mayor has resigned, so that only place is Tokyo, I said. Of course, there is a Fukuoka city, my hometown, is now raising a hand. But anyway, to study ways to bolster our plan, I called for the establishment of a task force made up of members from the metropolitan government, and this team was headed by our Vice Governor Maeda. The task force will comply concrete proposals by quickly concluding discussions directed toward the scheduled designation of Tokyo as a national strategic economic growth areas at the end of March. This special district was designated by the end of March, so we have just 10 days. I wish to strengthen Tokyo's international competitiveness by working with the Abe government to make this special district so long National Strategic Economic Growth Area, NSEGA, a strong program, as well as by advancing the development of international business environment and supporting the establishment of enterprises. Then I have 12 minutes. Yeah. Now, about the budget, I have to complete this budget. As you know, I assumed the gubernatorial post in such an extraordinary situation, in the sense that there was the 2 months vacancy of governor, so that I had to, normally governor have to check very precisely all the budget. It takes a couple of months, but I did not have such a time. I did that in 3 days, and I have to pass the budget period by the end of March. So in mid-February, we draw up the fiscal 20 2014 next year budget, this year, I mean, this fiscal year, 2014 budget proposal, and this is now under deliberation by the Metropolitan Assembly. Fortunately, today I'm free from this assembly, so I'm now here. Although time was limited, I held candid discussion with the Metropolitan officials and of my pledges to voters during the election. I was able to incorporate those initiatives that can be quickly started or prepared. These include, number one, expanding subsidies for the creating children by care centers. Number two, enhancing emergency medical care. Number three, compiling new disaster preparedness manual books for households. Number four, accelerating the construction of bicycle lanes in the lead up to 2020. I'd like to make maximum use of bicycle for the environmental purposes and the traffic jam, etc. And number five, launching a new fund to further increase the use of renewable energies. I already did so with Tohoku area, with wind energy. And the budget total of 13.3 trillion yen. This size made me again realize how broad the authority the Tokyo Metropolitan Government has and how heavy my duty is. So anyway, I have to cultivate the newly sown seeds. I just sown the seeds into firm policies. Now a little bit of diplomacy. The foreign diplomacy or national security in an area is reserved for the central government, Mr. Abe. But there are some forms of diplomacy that can only be accomplished by cities. The Tokyo has formed sister and friendship city-state relationships with 11 cities and states around the world, including New York City, Beijing, Seoul, etc. It has encouraged in various forms of exchange. When major cities of a nation depend mutually understanding through exchange and interaction on the city level, this also contributes a good relationship on the national level. In addition, within the framework of the Asia Network of Major Cities 21, in Japanese, Asia Daitoshi Network 21, the Asian Network of Major Cities 21, the network of capital and major cities in Asia, Tokyo coordinates and collaborates with members to tackle a wide range of issues common to major cities, including crisis management, environment quality, PM 2.5 in Beijing, and promotion of industry. Unfortunately, Beijing left this network because of many problems. The relationship with Taipei. Taipei is a member also. Jakarta, Bangkok, Hanoi, almost all the capitals of the Asia. But I think seriously that without Beijing, network of Asian big cities is not completed. So maybe under the Ishara gubernatorial leadership, some cause problems, as you know. So now I'm governor of Tokyo. One of my big tasks is to bring Beijing back to this network. And as soon as possible, I plan to go to Beijing. And I have many friends in China. And as I told you, 3 years ago, 11th of March, I was in Shanghai. At the National University of Taipei, I also made a speech. So I quite often go to Taipei and Beijing and Shanghai, many big cities in China. And So I have very close relationships with Taipei and Beijing, and especially because I'm studying the works of Sun Yat-sen, the founder of China, and I wrote a biography about this big man, Sun Yat-sen. And the Chinese version of my book is also available, so that people know, Chinese people, Taiwanese people know that I am the, and also the my father, my ancestors in Fukuoka helped much the revolution of Sun Yat-sen. My historical, the idea or interpretation of, the Chinese revolution led by Sun Yat-sen is supported by the money of coal mine in Fukuoka prefecture. At that time, 100 years ago, we are very, very rich in Fukuoka. My father owned a coal mine, and the family of Mr. Aso, minister, former foreign minister, minister of finance, also his hometown is Fukuoka city. His family owned much greater coal mine than my father, and and anyway, we had abundant money, and we poured our money to Sun Yat-sen. With this money, he could achieve the revolution. So each time I go to Beijing, well, you owned me, my family, or people in Kyushu, this success of revolution. So they know much about this story. So they will welcome me, and I'd like to, first of all, Beijing back to Asian network. And number two, this bilateral relationship between Beijing is so bad, as you know. So I'd like to improve by helping the environmental problem and also the social welfare. They have only one child. So the health care for the aged persons, they have a bunch of problems. So this Tokyo government can help them. And same thing can be said to Seoul, the South Korea. Again, the bilateral relationship is so bad. So I'd like to improve a little bit. And during the electoral campaign, there are many kind of disgusting negative campaign against me, against every candidate. And then they said I'm Korean. I said to the Korean people will be very happy, but why they said I'm Japanese? Maybe 2,000 years ago, I don't know, because Fukuoka is near. Many people, cross the border. But anyway, when my father launched the election, his name was not only written in Japanese, but also in Korean. Do you know why? Before the war, Korean residents in Tokyo, in Japan, or Taiwanese or Chinese residents, or even you, the English resident in Tokyo, has the right to vote and the right to become MPs or politicians. So that at that time, you can write in English, Lucy Birmingham, it's okay. You can write Park Kune in Korean, it's okay. So in Fukuoka, there are many voters, residents coming from Korean Peninsula. They can't understand Japanese language. So my father wrote in Hangul, Korean languages, in order to get their votes. So in municipal assembly in this region, 1/5 or a quarter of elected people are Koreans. So this is a historical fact. But anyway, there are many interesting history about the past of our country. It's a neighboring relationship with neighboring countries, South Korea and China. Unfortunately, because of the historical interpretation and Senkaku Island issues, and now foreign diplomacy has almost blocked. So what I'd like to do, I am not a foreign minister, neither prime minister, but at least the governor of Tokyo I can do something. So this is one of my ambition as the city manager, almost in terms of relationships with other big cities. So okay, now I'll stop here, and I'd like to invite you to raise any questions or any kind of comments. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you so much. Okay, so we're going to finish at 1:30, so we've got 30 minutes of Q&A. I'd like to open the questions up first to the press. So anybody in the press would like to ask a question? Yes, please, go ahead. And please come up to the mic and tell us your name and your media affiliation.
Masaaki Iwamoto from Bloomberg News. Let me ask you about Tokyo Metro, which is the important part of infrastructure in Tokyo. There is a law requiring both Tokyo and the government to sell Tokyo Metro shares as soon as possible. And the former governor didn't do that, giving priority to the merger of Tokyo Metro and the Toei subway. And my question is, are you going to follow the same stance on this issue, or are you considering the sales of Tokyo Metro shares?
Okay, thank you very much. Very good question. I really want to touch upon this issue, but I have not enough time. You know, this is not only the metro issues. One of the biggest problem in Tokyo is the total structure of traffic. You know, you have the railway, metro, monorail, and the airplane, and cars, and buses, and taxis. But if you get down to Haneda Airport from Beijing or Narita Airport, how do you cope with come to the center of Tokyo? It's a long time and it costs much, and the taxi is so expensive, etc. So one of the biggest issue of development is Haneda Airport, right? And there are many private railways coming to the Haneda station, near Kamata or near Haneda station. But there is no combination with the JR or private lines and buses. And I'm now just hearing all the companies concerning the traffic. And one company said, well, we'd like to expand our lines until up to the Haneda Airport. The other said, no need to that. We have the buses. But which is the best way? What I will do is I go to the spot by myself and I watch and I asked every partners of this, for example, in the Haneda area. And also I asked specialists of air traffic or buses or taxi, and I will conclude by myself. So the underground tube, the metro is one of the, I said, tiny issues. Before just tackling with these tiny issues, I will write down my grand design, how to make Tokyo traffic more comfortable, efficient, so that this issue will come later. For example, I'll say another question about traffic. In Shibuya or Minatoku, in this vicinity, former Governor Inose made buses available 24 hours out of 24 hours. Well, it's good for some people, but you go to the Tamai area. Tokyo is such a huge area. The people are crying because metropolitan bus, the lines or services of the metropolitan buses cut to 1/3. And they can't go to commute. So they say, well, if you make Tokyo bus, our bus, working 24 hours in Minatoku, why in our area you cut the bus? So this is one of the typical example of failure of former governor. You have to watch Tokyo 23 special area, Chiyodaku, Minato, Shibuya, is only one part of Tokyo. We have huge suburb areas, three Tama Chiki district, and island, Izuoshima, for example, disaster hit in Izuoshima. So I'm very proud of this huge area and variety of nature, and I'd like to recommend you to eat our Tokyo pork, best of the Tokyo, of which name is Tokyo X. Those who know this special pork, please raise hands.
Tokyo X pork?
This is again the failure of former governors. This is PR time. Tokyo X is a special pork. If there is Spanish correspondent, I'm very sorry to say. I should say Tokyo X is more tasty than Iberico porks in Spanish. So I'd like to provide with this Tokyo X to everyone 2020. But the amount of production is so low, so I'd like to, one episode. Anyway, so for the next question.
Aaron,
Yeah.
Look, go ahead, please. Yeah.
Aaron Sheldrick, Reuters. The Tokyo Metropolitan Government is a shareholder, albeit a minor one, of TEPCO, the operator of the Fukushima nuclear plant. Given the ongoing problems at the plant and TEPCO's seemingly inability to manage it, is TEPCO a fit operator of a nuclear plant?
Even during the electoral campaign, this kind of question are so frequently raised. But what I say, first of all, is, as you mentioned a little bit, the TEPCO is almost, as a matter of fact, in bankruptcy, if you like. And even if we have, top shareholder is not our government, Tokyo government, but government, national government. And even if we have some shares of TEPCO shares, but holdings, we cannot say big words to TEPCO. We can say some opinions, but finally this is almost, as a matter of fact, government-owned company. So it's up to the government which direction in the terms of energy policies the nation will go ahead. And there is a special organization which check if it's safe or not. The new site of reopening of the nuclear plant, etc. So that I will closely consult with the government. But this is not, as a matter of fact, the free, independent, money-owning business companies. This is almost government-owned government. So I have the limit as how to cope with this type of problem. I don't know if I can satisfy you, but for all what I can do for the moment is this answer. Okay.
Okay, Joel, go ahead.
Hello, bonjour.
En français?
Joël Legendre,
In English.
Joël
Yeah,
Legendre
please,
in English,
in English.
RTL France Broadcasting. Thank you very much for your presentation. It's true that Tokyo needs rationalization. There's one thing that strikes me when I walk in the streets nowadays. It's many mothers with their kids who don't know what to do with their kids, and you're going to treat that, maybe. One thing that really surprised me and hurt me is to see the amount of old people, more and more, in the streets of Tokyo, alone, poor, in bad conditions. Now, talking about big issues like diplomacy, which is a good idea, of course, takes us very far from what you have to deal with nowadays, which is to take care of millions of old people who are going to, increase. And where are you going to house them? It takes 3 or 4 years to get a room in a care center. What can you do, and what funding for that? Thank you.
I mentioned for the kids, 8,000 people are waiting. Kids are waiting But as for the aged person, 45,000 aged persons waiting for the facilities. And as I mentioned, one of the big problems is the cost of the land. Here is so expensive. And so that if you'd like to open the nursing homes, first of all, you have to pay much money to buy the land. So that we have the Tokyo-owned, our government-owned land, and government-owned land, and so forth. So first of all, I'd like to make maximum use of this land. We don't buy, but we can lend this land with a cheaper price as the usual. And this is one possibility. And the second possibility is the old public housings, especially in Shitamachi and the other area. In Japanese, they call danchi or shugo jutaku. In Tama New Town for called. So, for example, Tama New Town, and there are many. And then now, for example, 40 years ago, Tama New Town is really new town. But now Tama is a new town. Tama not only old town, but ghost town. Because it's really sad. I'm very sad to see that. And we rebuilt new huge buildings. Now it's 5 stairs or 6 stairs, and there is no elevator at all. For this person, it's not so good. So from 5 stairs old, houses to 20 stairs, 30 stairs, you have abundant spaces. So there, first floor, second floor, or ground floor anyway. Not only shopping malls, but also the facilities for the children, for the aged person who are suffering, for example, Alzheimer's diseases. This is the second policy alternative. I'll do that. And number 3 is, as Suginami World did, find out the cheap land, for example, in the nearby prefectures like Shizuoka and other places, and build new nursing homes, etc. But problem is for the family to commute. With this spot, it takes time, it takes money, but people are really suffering. So I have to accelerate these kind of policies. So as I said, for the kids, in 4 years, there is no kid who have to wait for. But as a matter of fact, for 4 years' time, maybe the demand is going up. Once that new governor is creating many kinds of, the facilities, so those mothers who just wanted to keep their kids at home, now I'd like to also bring my kids to these facilities. But anyway, I cannot say to the aged person the same kind of thing to the kids. But 43 or 45,000 people, and now the number is increasing. So I have to catch up with. But I'll do my best. Okay.
Okay. Who else? Yeah, go ahead. Yes, please.
Siegfried Knittel, freelance from Germany. You talked about voting rights local voting rights in Fukuoka before the war. Do you in favor for giving Tokyo foreign residents the right to vote in local elections? The second point, there is some people criticize the plan for the new stadium for the Olympics. They say this stadium is too big, and it's too. And Tokyo has a has a wonderful stadium, designed by a famous architect. Why to build a new, too big stadium? Because after Olympic, they say that cannot be really used with 80,000 people. Not to fill it often.
Vielen Dank. Ja, ja. Ich spreche auch Deutsch, aber muss ich ja auf Englisch sprechen, ja? Ja. So first of all, before the war, I said that historically speaking, all people coming from Korea or Taiwan under the Japanese imperial, Japanese empire. So they are students. So automatically, they have the right to vote. But problem is in Taiwan and in Korean Peninsula, they could not. So this is the thing. But your first question, my answer is, well, if you'd like to exercise the right of vote, please naturalize. That is my answer. And as a matter of fact, increasing numbers of Korean residents having the Japanese passport, because the main reason is they get married with the Japanese. So when the marriage they change wedding, yeah, right. So this is my first answer. The second question that you raised, as I told to the traffic, I will go to see by myself from April on. And if it's too huge or too small, I'll check by myself. And then I'll decide. This is my answer for the moment. And also in Beijing and in Sydney, these huge stadium, birds nests, it's almost finished, Sydney, the same thing. So I'd like to check why they failed. So there are many lessons we have to learn from the foreign examples. But, the IOC raised many points. Well, you have to at least 20,000 people, 80,000 people and the main stadium, etc. So yeah, I understand that JOC have to fit with these the standards. But anyway, I'll check by myself. Please give me time. Okay?
Okay, anybody else from the press? How about any Asian press? Asian? Shinwa? Anybody from Shinwa? No? Nope.
Mr. Kondo, Shinoa? No?
Okay, then
if
we're going to open it. Are you sure? Last chance? Okay, go ahead. Yes, please.
Not in Chinese. Please in English. in English.
Japanese.
If you can, in English, is that okay? Can you ask in English?
Do you have a plan to visit Beijing or Seoul, actually?
Well, for the moment, there are no concrete schedules fixed, but I'd like to, as I told you, I'd like to go to China as soon as possible. But it depends on my schedule, and it depends on the China, especially city of Beijing. Maybe the mayor of Beijing will invite me to come to the capital of China. And of course, reason why is let's consult. I have to consult with Beijing government about. I'd like to learn from lessons from the Olympic Games of Beijing, and also the areas of cooperation, including the environmental program and social welfare. So we'd like to first fix the topics, and then I can go there. And for the moment, about South Korea, I have not yet discussed with any people. I discussed about the Chinese visitors. There are many visitors coming from China, but for the moment, I have not yet even discussed with the South Korean people or embassy or Seoul government. Okay?
But you're hoping to. Are you hoping
Yes,
to?
yes, if time comes.
Okay. All right. So, this gentleman in the way back, you had your hand up for quite a while there. Thank you.
Masuzoe Sensei.
Hi.
I'm just a businessman. I'm the owner of the medical device company.
Uh-huh.
I'm very happy to see you. I came here as a member of the club
Yes.
because I was in the same generation. So my heartfelt congratulations.
Thank you
for
very
your
much indeed.
Passing of the election. I really want you to succeed because we've been criticized as a Dankai no Sedai, ne?
Yes.
So you are my heartfelt leader.
Thank you.
And I really want you to succeed, but you have so much power and energy. I hope you don't derail yourself. Huh? Well, a few things, huh?
Can you? I'm sorry. Can you just
including a few
one
suggestions?
question?
Pardon?
Can you just
One question?
Yeah, please,
Or
just one.
Maybe
or-
we have to meet each other
Yeah.
later.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
We've only got
Yeah.
about 10 minutes
Okay,
left.
then just one policy I want to ask you is immigration policy. For example, in Tokyo, we have so much shortage of like a maize or amas, like we see so many in Hong Kong or other developed cities. And recently, Sankei Shimbun reported maybe 200,000 people will be allowed to come into Japan shortly. I really think this is very, very important for the future of Japan, not only Tokyo, but for Japan. So I really hope you will do something as a special zone, huh, even possible, huh, as Tokyo to accept more people from abroad. Thank you.
Well, I understand your point, and it's really very important issues. And as you mentioned, the special district ideas, this is one of the problems. But I stayed when I was young in European countries, in France, in Germany. In Germany, Gastarbeiterfrage, the Turkish people suffering much about their identity crisis, the third generation. And Morocco, Algeria, also Maghreb people, the same kind of things can set to France and in England. So that there are many positive ways. In 1950s, European countries, instead of introducing automation, robot, they introduced those foreign workers. And that caused that promoted the economic growth, but caused many, many problems. As I said, the third generation crisis is so severe. Turkish, German, which identity? I'm Turkish or German or Islam or Christian, and I know these problems. So I am not so. In that sense, I am rather cautious about these issues, and especially because there are many, many women who don't work, Japanese women who don't work still in Japan. And why don't you make maximum use of aged persons, those, the non-working women and working Japanese? First of all, we have to, ask them work and provide them with these conditions. But skilled workers, high talented persons, those persons who don't, who has the specific areas, that Japanese people cannot own. That's okay. That's okay. But if it is the just workers, I'm rather, but my point is there are many, many negative aspects of this problem. So we have to deliberately check. So yes, okay.
Okay, thank you for that question. Joan, go ahead. Yeah. Working woman.
Sorry.
Working woman enjoying my confused identity here in Japan. Thank you. As a resident of Tokyo, one of the things that visitors are extremely frustrated by is the lack of Wi-Fi access throughout the city. It really causes huge problems for foreigners who are visiting, and I'm concerned that for the Olympics this is going to be a major negative event. What are you going to do about that? Thank you.
Thank you very much, really, for your good question. I ordered already, I gave already directly to every branch of my government and Tokyo business sectors. You will very soon reach Wi-Fi everywhere. No problem. Please trust me as soon as possible.
Okay. Go ahead. Go ahead, please. Yes. Another working woman.
Yes.
I'm a little biased.
Thank you very much, Governor. My name is Rosa. I'm from the Embassy of Colombia. And you mentioned that you're working on stronger relations, of course, with other cities of Asia. I was wondering if you happen to have any plans to have more connection with Latin America. I know Sao Paulo is one of the sister cities you have, and yes. I wonder if you have any interest in Latin America. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. When you are from Colombia. I have many judoka friends in Colombia. They are very strong, and Rio de Janeiro is the next host city of Olympic Games. So in a couple of years, I'm going to Rio de Janeiro, and just to have the flag of the Olympic Games. But we emigrated to the Brazil and even Colombia in the Latin America countries. So we have very close ties. And when I am the chairman of the foreign committee of the Senate, I really wanted to improve our relations with this area. So I'll try to not only Asia Network but Rio and the other countries, including your countries. I'd like to promote better relations with your area. Thank you very much.
Yes, please, go ahead.
Masuzoe, it's very good to see you. And David Satterwhite, an associate member of the club.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Two things that you've mentioned actually caught my attention. One is infrastructure development issues in Japan are notoriously take a very long time. Your ambitions are commendable, but Inokashidodori or Megurodori or many things that have
yes.
taken 20 or 30 or
yes.
more years.
Yes.
Will Toku possibly give the government and yourself more authority to move quickly on infrastructural development projects, including the Olympics? Secondly, you've mentioned I will go personally and see, and I think that's a very good hands-on approach. I think it will be very important not to fall into micromanagement and have people who share your vision do much of the work.
Yeah.
And so I encourage you, because as somebody else has said, we all want you to succeed. If I could have voted, you had my vote.
Thank you very much. So in that sense, I have to, to promote the votes for the foreign residents. But anyway, number one question that you raised, it's very important. In special district, I'd like to do that. Normally it takes 10 years, but in this special district, maybe 5 years. And again, goal is 2020. So normally it takes 10 years, but 6 years. And this is a very good thing about 2020 Olympic Games. So this kind of deregulations of all the, the construction, etc. But problem is not our TMG, Tokyo Metropolitan Government problem, but Kasumigaseki, Nawabari Arasoi, the sectorial, the dispute of all ministries. This should be, tackled by Prime Minister. But we'll try best. But each time I discuss with this problem, that problem, this is a problem of, the dispute between Ministry of Treasury, the Ministry of Construction, etc. But I do best. Then second point is very important. We have to have the grand design. And I will invite, even including you, of all the people who are concerned about this Tokyo issues, there are no outsiders. Foreign residents here, that's your problem. So please come to tell us what is the problem, what is your idea to solve this problem. Thank you very much.
Is one more question?
Yes,
okay? Is that
yes.
okay? Okay, just one more question. Yes, please.
The last one.
Mitsuya Goto, an old associate member of this club and lifelong businessman. I used to be with Nissan Motor Company. You said your father was in the coal business.
Yes.
And just a few days ago, I saw on TV news the world's biggest liquid gas tank that the Tokyo Gas Company built in the Tokyo Bay. What is your view of the future supply of energy to Tokyo? Incidentally, I used to negotiate with Mr. Thatcher of England and put the Nissan plant in Newcastle, which was famous for its coal industry and shipbuilding.
Thank you. It's very, very difficult question to answer. But, I'm just looking for the best mix of the package of our energy supply. And, of course, oil and the coal is, again, but, of course, how to deal with nuclear energy is one of the very delicate issues. And also the renewable natural resources can be used. But this, again, I will consult deliberately with the national government. But what we can do is all Tokyo people have to try to save energy. So I said, go back home at 6 o'clock to my staffs. Don't stay in our office, waste of energy. So all the people can do that. And also, we'd like to create by ourselves. As I mentioned during the electoral campaign, the amount of natural energy, renewable energy of Tokyo, only 6% of total energy. I raised this percent to up to 20%, if possible, before 2020. So this is my ambitious target of Tokyo energy policy. Thank you very much.
Okay, Masuzoe-san, thank you so much. Normally we give a 1-year honorary membership, but we've already given it to you, so we're going to give you 3 extra months.
Yes.
So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. どうもありがとうございました。いいですね。はい。どうもありがとうございました。